Scripture to consider before the news. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. The one that causes all to receive the mark of the beast will be the final pope and second beast of Revelation chapter 13, which aids the first beast after he is killed and resurrected by the working of Satan. We are progressively getting closer and closer to that covenant which the beast will make with Israel to start the final 70th week spoken of by Daniel the prophet. 42 months after it starts, the beast will be slain and risen, and then his mark to buy or sell will be dispensed on the earth in the hour of temptation. Now unto the news. France heads into month-long lockdown as virus spirals in Europe. Jesuit-educated French President Emmanuel Macron announced a nationwide 4-week lockdown, closing schools and business, in the latest and alarming sign that Europe is yet again losing control of the pandemic. We did everything we could to make these decisions as late as possible, when they became strictly necessary. That is now, Macron said in a televised address on Wednesday. New variants make the virus more contagious and deadlier, he said. The French leader implored the nation to make an extra effort as the lockdown comes into force on Saturday. Restrictions will be flexible this weekend, during the Easter holidays, to allow people to relocate on inter-regional travels. It represents a policy reversal for Macron. He had favored a localized approach, which the UK had also tried with little success, and his rejection of advice for stricter measures sooner comes with political risks a year out from presidential elections. Macron acknowledged mistakes in handling the pandemic, but said the nation was learning from them. Scripture to consider. He that winketh with the eye causeth sorrow, but a prating fool shall fall. In related news, Italy makes COVID-19 vaccine mandatory for all health workers. All health workers in Italy must have coronavirus jabs, the government said on Wednesday, in a potentially controversial move aimed at protecting vulnerable patients and pushing back against no-vax sentiment. Italy has an entrenched anti-vaccination movement, and the recent discovery of clusters in hospitals after staff refused to have shots has sparked outcry in a country where more than 109,000 people have died of the disease. However, government critics have questioned the legality of forcing only some categories of workers into having a vaccine. Wednesday's decree approved by Prime Minister Mario Draghi's cabinet says health workers, including pharmacists, are required to undergo vaccination. Those who refuse could be suspended without pay for the rest of the year. The decree also introduces legal protection for those who administer the shots, a measure doctors and nurses had demanded after medics were placed under investigation for manslaughter following the death of a vaccinated man in Sicily. Italy has seen a resurgence in coronavirus infections and deaths over the last month, and the government has tightened restrictions on businesses and movements to contain the virus. Curbs are calibrated in the country's 20 regions according to a 4-tier, color-coded system: white, yellow, orange and red, and are normally based on local infection levels. Wednesday's decree said everywhere would remain a tougher red or orange zone until April 30th, giving time for the vaccines to work. This means that restaurants, bars and gyms will remain closed and much regional travel will be banned. However, in a concession to coalition parties that have complained about the lengthy restrictions, the decree said it will be possible to loosen some curbs in those areas which have a high vaccination rate and low infections. Something to consider is that the words mandatory and vaccination both equate to the number of the beast, 666, when looked at with the practice of gematria using the Sumerian cipher. Gematria is an alphanumeric code of assigning a numerical value to a name, word or phrase based on its letters. A single word can yield multiple values depending on the cipher used. In more related news, 102 get sick with coronavirus despite getting vaccine in Washington. Despite rolling up their sleeve, getting a coronavirus vaccine and waiting the needed time for it to settle in their system, 102 people in Washington have tested positive for the coronavirus since February. Of that group, 2 people have died and 8 people have been hospitalized. In the same time frame, more than 1 million people have gotten the vaccine. So what happened to the 102 who still got infected? According to the Washington State Health Department, scientists call these vaccine breakthrough cases, which are expected with any vaccine. Dr. Ken Steadman with Portland State University agrees. It's exactly what you expect. Nothing is 100% effective, he said. With the virus still around, Stedman says it's likely we will continue to see more vaccine breakthrough cases until most people are vaccinated. But these numbers shouldn't be seen as a reason to not get a vaccine. If anything, they show the vaccine is working. The Washington State Health Department did not say if those who tested positive had a new variant of the virus or if it was the original strain of COVID-19. Regardless, Stedman said it's further proof of the importance of continuing to wear masks and practice social distancing even after being vaccinated. Lastly, vaccine passports launched in Las Vegas, but privacy, choice still concerns. Las Vegas is no stranger to exclusive VIP lists, but there's a new way of limiting guest access coming to town: vaccine passports. These digital credential systems can show whether someone has been vaccinated against COVID-19 and can help businesses limit access to those who have been inoculated. The systems were designed to increase health and safety at various venues, but experts warn of pushback over concerns on privacy and personal choice. The Washington Post has reported that the White House and private companies are working on a standard way of handling COVID-19 vaccine credential systems that can track Americans' health information such as COVID-19 inoculations or recent COVID-19 test results. The technology is expected to work similarly to mobile apps for airlines. Users can download the passport onto their smartphone and gain access to a scannable code that offers health information. Health service company Revive Global has launched its Helix Health Passport in Las Vegas. The mobile app uses an encrypted code to show the results of a recent COVID-19 test, and could be implemented at hospitality venues such as restaurants, conventions, nightclubs and shows. Meanwhile, Las Vegas Sands Corp. announced Tuesday that it would be using mobile technology called Health Pass from identity company Clear. The application can show health information like COVID-19 test results and, in the near future, vaccination results, and will be used at on-site conventions, trade shows and meetings in Las Vegas. Experts are anticipating pushback to the rollout of these credential systems, especially if they do limit access to vaccinated guests. There are more than 30 types of digital health credentials so far, including a state-run digital initiative. New York's Excelsior Pass will be accepted at major entertainment venues like Madison Square Garden and the Times Union Center in Albany, and can show New Yorkers proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test. The state of Nevada does not have a passport system in place, but it's not off the table. Nevada COVID-19 Response Director Caleb Cage said Monday that Governor Steve Sisolak's office continues to explore ways to reopen the economy safely. Can you not see where this is headed with the scripture of truth at the start of this video? We are heading into the kingdom of the beast with his mark of the beast to be able to buy or sell, which is the New World Order. It is happening before our very eyes. Scripture to consider for your eternal soul. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. If you cannot prove your name is in the book of life, you are in serious trouble. BeingJustified.com can help you while in the land of the living.